name is Ebonlua. Can just call me Ebon. So I welcome everybody. I was expecting some people. I think we're still expecting some people. So let's just hope they join us during the course of the training. So once again, my name is Ebon. I welcome you all to another training meeting with Mayowa. Hello, can you hear me? Hello.
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay,
I can
okay,
hear you.
okay, good. Thank you. Okay. So today's topic is how to find. I'm sure that you probably seen the topic before. How to find a research topic, and the person that will be taking us the training is Adedoyin Shobo. So I'll just give a brief summary about who he is and what he does before I hand over the mic to him. So Adedoyin Shobo is an accomplished development practitioner. He has over 5 years of experience and successful track in developing and implementing impact interventions to different development challenges. He has worked with a number of government organizations. He has capabilities in building relationships with all these government organizations, representatives, corporate organizations, private organizations, just name it. And he has private partnerships with all these organizations as well. And he has also helped them in their development. He also has communication skills, right? And then he mostly does his communication through storytelling, through data visualization and research based evidence. So his commitment to advancing knowledge and expertise in the development sector is demonstrated through different participation. So he has done a lot of works with different people. He has partnered with a lot of people, and some of the people that he has partnered with, the Data Science Fellowship, the Research Methods Program. Can we all hear me? Hello, are we still there? Hi,
Yeah.
everyone. Okay. So I was talking about the different sectors that he has worked with, different programs that he has worked with, different organizations that he has worked with. So I'm just giving like just few of them. He has worked with Data Science Fellowship, the Research Methods Program, the R for A for Health Survey Analysis, that's the Afro HUN Kenya. So he's very good in this research work. I mean, he's just the best person to take us through how to be a good researcher, right? He's just the best person, and I really want us to pay attention to whatever thing he says. And if you have any questions, you can also say it. You can ask. Just either you type it out or you raise your hand. But I trust that the training will really answer some of the questions that we have in mind, and it will help us to be a better researcher. And Adedoyin Shobo has also written over 14 books on development and social change. So it's not just like a hobby, it's something that he has been doing for a very long time. So he knows his onions very well. So with this piece of information, I would like us to invite or to give a round of applause for our teacher for today, Adedoyin Shobo Mayowa. Can we just clap for him or just welcome him?
Yeah, thanks a lot, guys.
Welcome,
Yeah, thank you
Adedoyin.
very much. Wait, why? I'm not surprised sometimes when I hear. Hear that name, Adedoyin.
Okay,
Is that me?
welcome, Iowa.
Thank you, thank you. Uh, Good afternoon, everyone. So we are just 5 on the call, also, and I've actually loved that a lot more people are around, but you know how it can be. Am I still audible? Just trying to
Yes, yes,
confirm.
yes, sir.
Oh, okay. Okay. Please, can you just give me like 3 minutes? Let me just see where I can put some things in place. Yeah, I think this number is still good because not everybody is interested in research per se, but you know, in as much as you register, you are likely to get the recording from this session in your email. So that's an assurance. Let me see. Do this. So I'm trying to share my screen. Can everyone see my screen?
Yes, we can.
Okay. So let me just. So if it sounds like we are quiet or it's quiet, just trying to fix some other things. But we'll start in 2 minutes. Yeah, but in the meantime, I think we can just meet. Thank you so much, Ebun. Um, nice voice, nice presentation. I think I'll just have to borrow you to keep doing this. I'll be back like in 2 minutes.
I think we'll just have to wait for Mayowa. He's in a meeting now. Let us give him about 10 minutes. I'm so sorry,
No, you
guys.
know to.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm back.
Okay, okay, good.
Thank you so much. I think I also have to, because since we are just few, let me see if I can allow access to other people. I think everyone here should have allow mic. Remilekun has a mic. So feel free to just butt in and let's let's do this. Okay. Okay, so just confirming again, can everyone see the screen? Yes. Ebu, can you see the screen?
Yes, yes,
Is
I
it
can.
showing the? Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, thank you very much, everyone. Again, sorry about the disruptions. So my name is Adedoyin Shobo. I'm a program officer in AC, and I think most of us already know what AC is about. We are a development organization that is working to improve the lives of um, vulnerable people, particularly women, girls, young people, and underserved communities. So whatever is the intervention that you're thinking about, whether it's in health, whether it's in empowerment, or um, environments like these days, we we design our programs in such a way that it considers or takes into account women, girls, being heavily involved, and we do a lot with young people. So of course, last month we started with a part. We started with a session that facilitator took us on. And that was so what was that again? Storytelling. And we learned a number of things. For this session, I think another person is supposed to take something on designs, because it's something that we do most time. Every one of us, everyone is a programs person too, but she started with working in communications. Please, Ebon, can you confirm this? You started as the communication intern, and now you're in programs. Is that
Yeah.
correct? Yeah. So
Yes, yes.
yeah. So essentially, the advantage of working in a space like ours means that you are more of an all-rounder. So today you can have something to do with communication. Tomorrow it could be on programs, and there are different ways and different things that can stir up your mind. So as someone that is involved in business development in AC, I often find myself having to do a lot in terms of research. And what it does research in basically cover, it's about um, just trying to get to the bottom of things. Um, we have Bible references to the fact that certain people, the Bereans, do not, certain people that call themselves the Bereans do not just take up whatever comes from the pulpits or wherever the apostle tells them. They want to always fact check things. They want to always do things, and research comes from being curious, getting the facts right, right. You see a lot of misinformation these days. You see a lot of misrepresentation these days. If you are a student on the call, and if you're like if you are required to do some kind of writing, the first thing you do is to go to ChatGPT most times. No qualms about it. That is where the world is going to. But the problem is when you are not having your thinking cap on to be able to question some of the things that you're saying. I remember there had been a time when I was looking at some prompts on ChatGPT, and I was asking myself that, okay, wait, this ChatGPT said, just like you feed a child and you keep feeding the child nutritious meals and everything, until that child is able to grow to a particular state. That is what ChatGPT does. It's all about machine learning, training the machine on certain types of data sets. So imagine that you want a ChatGPT that speaks only Yoruba, right? You have to be able to relate with it in such a way that it thinks like a Yoruba person. So I don't know if that makes sense. So if my thinking was that each of GPT was written in Igbo, in English, and the culture of the English people or people that speak English, then it might at some point start to be a problem, because it means that if we are using it in Africa, then it might not entirely represent the thought of an African. I might be wrong, but that is just me being curious about the whole thing. Another thing I want to say is that so Remilekun. Hi Remilekun. Are you able to hear us?
Yes, I can. I can hear you loud and clear.
Oh, okay, that's cool. That's cool. Thank you for joining us.
Yes, can hear you.
So what do you do? Like, are you in school? Are you working? Like, what do you do? What would you call your so what brings you money? You understand me? So I'm
Yes,
trying to
I,
know
I
like exactly where
understand
you
you.
are now.
Well, I
Yes.
wouldn't say I'm in school. Okay, I'm a project manager, but then you know that life has to do with learning. You have to
Mm.
keep learning. So I have taken courses on project management. But presently, I'm a project manager.
Okay. So that works. So who else is on this call? So I'm not able to see everybody at the same time, but let me see. Okoyemi. Okoyemi, if you can unmute your mic, let's meet you. What do you do? Are you in school? Are you working somewhere? So while we are waiting for Okoyemi, Ebun, of course, Ebun works in AC. So she works in an NGO. So I just wanted to know how many of us are in school, how many of us are in school, how many of us work in an NGO, so that this topic is really relates to everyone, right? So
Hi, hello, good afternoon.
yeah, it's afternoon. Hi,
Yeah, good
Okoyemi.
afternoon. Hi, Shobo,
Yes.
good afternoon. Yes,
Yeah. So this is one of those
um,
people that's giving me another name. Okay. Yeah, it's allowed.
oh, okay. So
Yeah, so what do you do?
okay, presently I'm a program manager for an NGO.
Okay. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So what does the NGO do?
Yes, we are majorly into the wash sector. That's water,
Okay.
sanitation, and hygiene. So primarily we help to implement most of the projects being done in that sector.
Okay. Okay. Okay, that makes sense. That makes sense. Thank you very much for those um enlightening responses. So our topic quickly is how to find a research topic, and I wish that there were students here too. So of course, a little bit about me. I work in AC, and I've spent some time in the development space trying to work out programs for community interventions, and I'm also interested in research and things like that. A little bit, a few people might have seen a few of my writing, things like that. Yeah, so that's like the bit about me, and I'm always interested in having an interesting conversation with any one of us. You can just reach me. I'm interested in in collaborative work. Not just because I work in an NGO, but I'm just a curious person. Um, a fun fact about me, I just you might probably find me at the beach side or something, and it allows me to be able to think things and just relax and be calm. So that's something about me. So at the end of this session, we will be able to kind of tap into our critical thinking, process, essentially know how to get our ideas into getting a research topic. As as you are aware, I think the world is gradually moving away from, so whether you're an academic or you work as a professional, you see platforms like LinkedIn has opened us up to a lot of those opportunities. So LinkedIn every time and then has a new feature that helps you to be more expressive. So whether you're generating an article or some kind of content and all of that, it allows you some kind of expression. So I think the world is moving away from that boring type of academic research where you just do some things and you just mumble up some technical jargons and it's just out there. And it's really not useful to the public. How many of us have our undergraduate research published? So in countries where most of these things are paid for, it has to be published. Whether it's in the public library or it's out there, or some invention or some patent comes out from the result of our research, right? So, and that is, what I'm trying to do. I remember that one of the first things I did after my postgraduate research was to just we had done myself and my supervisor and a few people, we had published it, and although it wasn't something really really exciting to me because it was not a topic that I chose. I worked on Agbalumo anyways. So anytime I see people taking star apple fruit, that's what we called it. Before my research, I didn't know that it was a star apple fruit. I just called it probably cherry because that was what I heard people call it. So that's the essence of research. You can confidently say that the ideas or the information coming out of your mouth is the right thing, right? So, and of course, at the end of this session, we'll be able to do some things in terms of we'll be able to do some things in terms of knowing, some of the things that could be checked, like a checklist, to be able to get to a research topic. Here, I was just trying to just give an overview of what a research, getting a research topic could look like. In every of these areas, whether it's something to do with climate change, as you can see this turtle, or like medical sciences, neuroscience, or space technology, or it's agriculture, right, or it's business, right, or it's AI, okay, or pharmaceuticals, clinical trials, agriculture again. One thing is clear: in every field, you need researchers. You need people that can do these things that we are interested in. And I put a quote here that imagination is greater than knowledge. So it's about Einstein that mentioned that, and that is because God forbid that you are psychotic or you are schizophrenic. Hope these words are not strange to us. Let me get our responses. I mentioned schizophrenic. I mentioned psychotic. Are they familiar words to us? Ebon, is this your first time of hearing those words? Okoyemi, your first time of hearing those words, schizophrenic. Hello, am I audible?
Oh, yes, I can hear you. So this is not my first time of hearing schizophrenic, and I think it has to do with mental disorder, where people
Okay.
just behave out of place.
Okay. 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 So that works. Um. So this just disrupted my. So let me see. Okay. Yes. Okay. So, why I mentioned schizophrenia is that somehow there's a conflict. With schizophrenia, there's that derangement or disruption with between realities and what you just think about. So these people cannot actually tell apart what their thoughts are. And you have like a million thoughts, and that's why you could just see them talking to themselves, and they're as they're talking to themselves, there's nothing that is kind of filtering the things that are entering your head and coming out of your mouth. You're just like you're just going on and on. So that is it, and God forbid that is it. So it's important that beyond what you read, or beyond what they tell you, or beyond what you watch, you have a keen sense of imagination, right? And I've often found out, whether it's from designing programs or writing something or carrying out an assignment, that we are only as imaginative as sometimes the information that we allow ourselves to be exposed to. So you see some people are always very resourceful. They have like a lot of ideas. I can tell you for free, except you are a savant, except you're like a genius, from like a kid genius or something like that. Those I hope for a kid genius, there has to be like something existing. Then you can now be very, very imaginative about it. So if there's anything that you need to take home today, is that for you to be creative, for you to be resourceful, you need to expose yourself to materials. If you're a scientist, I believe that you can get some of your best materials from the arts, right? Because that in itself is humanity, and it just comes natural. You can get inspiration from the trees, from the wind that blows, all of that, right? So that is about imagination. So I was asking that, what are you really interested in? And that would come from exposing yourself to enough information. So as an introduction, I was trying to say that when it comes to finding a research topic, we are all I assume that everyone here is graduate. Can I ask that, what was the approach you used? Like, what was the experience like? If I could just give like 30 seconds to each and every one of us. So who is going for Remilekun? Let's discuss. Did you do your research in Nigeria? How was it like, before you go to a research topic?
Okay. Initially, I were told to like prepare research topics, like 2 or 3, submit to the HOD of the department, and then one of them will be what's it called? Approved. And we did that, but upon being assigned to a project supervisor, said he didn't have any business with the topic that was approved, and gave me another topic. I can't remember what the topic was vividly, but what we were trying to do was, okay, I did environmental health technology in school.
Okay.
So can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Okay, so I can't remember the topic vividly, but what I remember we were trying to figure out was how much waste households generate per day, per week, and monthly, and how best they had the knowledge of waste sorting, and how the waste were being retrieved by Loma or other either private agencies that were responsible for waste collection and disposal. So that was what the topic was about. So I had to put in the work. It was not something that you could guess. It was not a topic that, because I made my research, although there were similar topics, but that exact one on weighing and getting to know the amount of waste each household or each family generate per day, per week was not out there. So I had to do a lot of visitation to different homes, had to do a lot of weighing, had to educate also waste sorting and sourcing, and then proper waste disposal and all of that. So those were the approach.
Okay.
Then there were a lot of calculations to break down the amount of waste generated in different streets and in different communities.
Wow. Well, you see, so what I'm getting is at the so this topic was not what you had earlier wanted to take on,
No.
and it was something that your supervisor eventually had
Asked
a
me
hand
to
in.
do, but I feel like I enjoyed doing it because it was new, having to understand what each family, the amount of waste generated, there's something called waste footprint. I got to know that later after I had even finished school, and upon taking different courses, I learned about waste footprint, which is, as individuals, if you take your time to what's it called, to look at the amount of waste you generate per day, you'll be marveled. Maybe you cook spaghetti, you drink pure water, you tore out a sheet of paper. At the end of the day, when you put all of those things together, you look at it like, so I was the only one so it was fascinating, and it was stressful, time consuming, resources consuming, but it was fascinating to be able to learn that, so as individual, not to now talk of a family of 4 or 5, the amount of waste that was being generated per day.
Yeah, okay. Thank you very much for taking us through all of this. I mean, it shows that you were now eventually vested in it, and I just like the fact that you just went on telling us about. That means you enjoyed the entire process. So I got something from from what Remileko said, that she had something in mind, and eventually she had to go with the decision of her supervisor, right? And that is what we are still going to be talking about. So whether you're in an NGO and your supervisor or something, or someone has assigned you to do something, what you need to do, and if you're a student, whether you're carrying out a research for your BSc, your MSc, or PhD, those are the things that you'll be looking at. So, of course, selecting your the right topic, right, is the first step to any research journey. But that might just be like jumping the steps from A, B, C, D. So it's like going to D when you've not done A. The way you find a topic for research, right, would differ from place to place, depending on a lot of things. Depending on a lot of things, depending on a lot of things, depending on the kind of materials to. How many of us know that? I don't know. I think it happens to me. I think I must confess that at times when I'm writing or when I'm trying to think through stuff, some of my best ideas do not come from when I'm ready at the table. It could be when I'm in the restroom or when I'm in the public transport or something like that. Has it happened to any one of us before? Anyone can answer. That your best ideas, some of your best ideas, did not happen when you were in class or when you were in a meeting or something like that. I don't know if I was the only one that have that
Who comes to
experience.
you when you are bathing?
Yeah, you see, you see, so it's not just me. It's not just me. So sometimes you need to be alert, just so that, and that's the power of imagination. Sometimes I just noticed that if I go to a meeting, sometimes just with my head, just go and I've told myself that I'm open to anything that comes out of the meeting. I tend to be able to contribute more than, oh, okay, I've done overnight, I've read extensively about it, something. And that's just because I'm able to apply my imagination to whatever is being said, things like that. So in that case, there's no one size fits all, when it comes to choosing a topic, especially a very interesting topic. There are different scenarios as I listed here. The intention of this class is that at least you have some background information. I will be able to share this material if you need it. Just DM me or something like that. So just like Remeko has said, if sometimes the research topic, right, does not come from you as a researcher. So you are the one that will still do the research, but you don't really have a say like that to what the topic will be about. Sometimes it's some people, some organization would have specified, the topic. Say for instance, you're about to do a fellowship, right? If the fellowship is to study certain things, for instance, that has to do with people suffering or people that has been diagnosed with cancer, you cannot go and do a research that is subject to or that is in diabetes. Or if it's about doing something with membranes, right, cell membranes and all of that, you cannot go and do something that is way off, maybe going as far as checking out the effect of a drug on an animal. It will not fly with them. So your ideas and your topic eventually will be determined by what is on ground. And say, for instance, a funded research fellowship. Another thing is it could be from a company. Probably the company has funding. The first one was like in schools. The second one is like a company itself, maybe a big pharma, so maybe GSK or Wellcome or Pfizer is saying that, oh, they have this vaccine that they are developing in their lab and they need other researchers to jump on it and bring in your proposals, but it should be tailored to their objectives, right? Another area that that you're likely to see is your project supervisors, right? Your project supervisor might now be the one to, just like in Remileko's case, and for a number of us, your project supervisor is the one that will say that this is what I'm supposed to, this is what I'm interested in, um, this is what I want you to do if you want to work with me, right? Though there are merits and demerits to it, one of the drawback or the demerit to it is that if you are not emotionally attached to the project, like if you don't even feel the need for the project, if your supervisor is not even available and he wants you to do something that is on, and he's not even explaining, he's not even making it, you could start, that might be the beginning of your headache, right? So, that can be, but if your supervisor is available to guide you and you have regular discussions and, progress, reports on what you're doing part-time, then it helps, then you can carry on with your project. Um, so in a different situation, you can actually be in charge of that your research, right? And some of the ways that you can get ideas for research is just going, for instance. So we've gotten to the nitty-gritty of that. You are the one that is now the researcher. You want to carry out a research, you want to do something about the research, you want to, like last week, or like some weeks ago, I thought about, and that was before the International Day of Science, women and girls in ICT or so, or in science. And I was thinking about, as an NGO and all of that, and how in AC we work with women and girls. And I was trying to imagine. No, I was trying to imagine now. I was trying to I was trying to just put down my thoughts as to when I got into this space, and I realized I was going to be defending the rights of women and girls. I'm talking a lot about gender-based violence and FGM and all of that. I used to get questioned as a guy that, hey, why am I working in this field? That I did not other interesting parts that I can work on. There's cancer, there's all of that, and most importantly, why am I working and focusing my work on just women and girls and not men, and other people? That are they the only ones suffering, and that this thing has been politicized? Well, as a scientist, I can say that it can be it has been politicized, and for good reasons too. As time went on, I understood why it was politicized, and depending on which swing you are, right, it's easy for you to um uh I believe that you can tell if something is politicized and if something is actually a problem, right? Um, so, and that was it. So what did I do? Um, it came as a thought, and it had nothing to do with the International Day of Women and Girls in ICT or STEM. And what I did was that I reached out to a few ladies that I know in STEM, and I started discussing with them, and I asked for their opinion. Their opinion then led to a kind of article that is now available online, and it can still be developed if I actually wanted to put it in academic style writing and all of that. And that's how, if I am interested in gender studies, I already have started to come up with a research topic or research interest, and I'll be working a lot with gender experts and all of that. So that is one. So what I did, in addition to conducting interviews with these ladies, is to also um carry out some background checks online, to at least give my statements some power, right? So that was it, right? So one of the first things that you can do is carrying out a literature review. What is existing about that your research interest. If you're, for instance, if you're into environment, if for instance you want to work in anxiety, eco anxiety, and then all of that, what is on ground on it? Like, are there materials on it? What are people saying on it? So that's literature review, right? You can attend conferences about whether it's the one that is in your field or the one that is not in your field. You want to know about it, and there's no in as much as it has to do with information, gathering materials, right? There's no limit. So you can get your material from academic journals and all of that, or you can even get it from social media. If, for instance, USAID has a social media page, I can go there and then follow, and you can quote them to say that that is your own source. I mean, at least everybody knows USAID or knows WHO. WHO also has an handle. So those are things, and you can also get ideas from considering the needs in your community. Probably you're the kind of person that you're worried about smoking, or you're worried about teenage pregnancy. Those are things that could just steer your mind into thinking about in thinking around ideas and things like that, right? And also your topic as a researcher can come from, so even when there are different problems and they're all worth solving, you might now have to start thinking about, okay, wait a minute, would I be able to achieve this research? Even if I have a topic now, I have an idea that I've now developed into a topic, would I be able to achieve this research? Considering the money, considering the supervision, considering the time that I'll be given, and even ethical clearance. I've heard and I've been in situations where, because of ethical clearance, some of the things that you still get to, because of ethical clearance, some research would have to be stepped down because perhaps is not there's not going to be approval for you to carry out that kind of research, considering the environment that you are, right? So those are things. Some of the ways, like I said, that you can get ideas is that if you have an interest, perhaps in cancer, addressing a particular cancer problem, addressing some kind of social, some kind of humanities, problems, name it, environmental problems, you can go online and start to dig up materials, get stuff that you can do. You can also, as you go online, it's also possible that when you download academic journals, at the end of it, you might just go to just after the conclusion, you might see things like a recommendation for further research or limitations of that work. So that could be stir up a thought, and you can now decide to say that, okay, that is what you want to focus your research on, and you gradually start to build, right? And I mentioned some sites. You can go on the internet on some reputable websites to search for ideas. Just keep abreast to this. I think one of the things that I've done of late is to just know what's happening in global health. So I would go to pages or sign up for publications by Bill Gates or by Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, by USAID, by funders, DevEx, all of them, to just see like the latest news. Sometimes news that concerns you, sometimes the one that does not concern you. But in most cases, these are experts, and these are professional bodies that are able to guide you, right? That is able to tell you the current state of things in terms of what people are saying around the world about that research. And another way that you can get, so this is NIH. NIH is National Institute of Health. NCI is National Cancer Institute. WHO, of course, is World Health Organization. You can get ideas from presentations, just attending them. I mean, I remember that before we started Zero Carbon Africa Impact Program, I've gone for a couple of conferences in Nigeria, right? And I met people that are or that are industry people that is their own. They are not academics, but they just make a living out of climate change, solving climate change issues and things like that. And I met a number of people. After I left that conference, I was able to walk backwards to work with all the professionals I met. So those professionals were now our facilitators. We had interesting conversations together, right? So you can actually do that. I put here some of the things that you can do to just get your mind running. So a quick one. A lot of people would see me and would think, I'm sure this guy must be under 25, under 30, under 40. No, I'm an old man, and I'm always trying to say that. But what has kept me going, or kept me that has kept me enthusiastic about what I do, whether it's talking about science or talking about ideas and all of that. Am I still audible? Can you confirm if I'm audible? Okwemi, can you still hear me? Hello, Okwemi. Hello, Remy. Am I still audible?
Yes, you are.
Oh, okay. I'm not sure if one's with us. Okay. So, like I was saying, some of the places that you can find ideas, right? Um, you can join an academic network, a club of really smart people, or people that are just curious. Just like you have WhatsApp groups that they can just go on and on talking about boring stuff and things like that. You can also have WhatsApp groups where they just do um talk about really intellectual stuff. So those things can stay your mind, right? Something like that. So another place that you can get ideas from as a researcher, as a program person, apart from conferences and all of that, and being in certain rooms where they are talking about those problems, or where you can meet people, just like I cited the conference, and just being in certain WhatsApp groups for really, really smart people. They call something people voice say, and that's what our oral defense is about. Whether it's an MSc oral defense or your PhD oral defense, those are places where you can get like high level knowledge about certain things. So if you are doing something in oh, okay. So Ebony is saying that our mic has been off. Wondering why that is. Okay.
Yeah, I'm back on.
Yeah. So I was wondering if I was the only one on the group at some point.
No, no,
So
not at all.
okay. Okay. Thank you for that. Aside joining academic networks, clubs like that to just tell your mind. So if you are interested in environment and all of that, you can join NGOs, their volunteer groups where they are actually engaging, talking about things that are happening in the world and solving it. I think I have the privilege of being in like several of these groups, whether it's with lawyers or with, and they are just really, really amazing. Really, really amazing. Please, can you give me 2 seconds? 2 minutes to just do something now. Yeah, Ebon, if you can carry on with the
All
meeting.
right.
Yeah. You can carry on just in 2 minutes. Let me do this quickly. Hello, are we still on the call? Yeah, sorry for the
Yes, I'm here.
instruction.
Oh.
I keep getting there are some current works going on and things like that. So I'm giving like a second eye to some of these things. So as we were saying, I'll still give out these
Okay.
materials. Yes. So sorry about that. Remy, are you still with us? Okwe, are you still with us?
Yes, I'm here.
Yeah, those are my people. All right, so let's just go on. We've talked about participating in oral defense. You can, do that. Those are places that you can get ideas from. You can also visit. I don't know of Nigeria, but I think you can go to. If you work in health, if you work in medicals, you can go to Nigeria Institute of Medical Research. I'm sure they should have some like health topics, things that they are focusing on. It's just that the only thing with Nigeria is that I think if you try to go, you are likely to get a warm reception. Just go to an hospital. If you see a passionate doctor that you can speak with about probably maybe a primary healthcare center or something, might be very good. You can also just like I was saying. So this says that you can organize some brainstorming sessions in a group of 4 to 6 knowledgeable people, right? Just like I did with my thought about women and all of that, and then you have a material coming out from all of that. You have a material coming out from all of that. The other thing is using a mind map. So what that means is that each and every one of us are constantly there are things that you think about. I know how a map is, where they are like it starts from a single thought. Does this person like me? So that was the first thought. And then you now from does this person like me to maybe it's just their eye just met mine, to maybe it's just Valentine, to I don't think I like this person, or so you build a mind map, and so but it started from something, and then you can now just have those things. So it helps as a researcher to have like a writing pad or something that you write with, even if the world has gone to ICT and all of that, where you can just record stuff on your phone and things like that. It might be nice that you have stuff like spread out on the paper, and you just draw strokes. You put something in the middle like a nucleus, and then you now draw strokes outside. So that will help you to be able to keep track of all your thoughts when it comes to a particular research interest, right? Other thing is that most of these other things are the things that we've talked about. Converting. So the one that we have talked about here, right? All of this is about generating ideas. The same, points. There've been some suggestions. Most of these suggestions are not exactly mine, but they've worked for me. Like when I said I created an article or a piece from talking to more than 10 girls about certain issues of why is there this rave about girls in ICT, women in ICT. It's like when you go online, all the programs are for women and girls, right? And I had to solve that problem with me, and I have evidence because I conducted the research and I've gotten words from people that are affected by, like, the beneficiary of these girls that they've been able to explain it. And believe me, the article that came out of that process informed me that even for the girls, they are not just like saying that patriarchy. Some of them are said that maybe the reason why you have a lot of girls now going into ICT and going into STEM and tech and all of that is that the world has actually become more open. the world is now digital. So whether you like it or not, you're already in the race, So those are like, as small as those ideas are, those are things that if you are someone in humanities, you are someone in you can always get ideas from there. So after you've gotten your ideas, right? These are like some of the things that you can use to convert those ideas into researchable topics, right? I put here that you can focus on things of interest, choose potential topics of interest, that you're motivated by, I believe that when Remileko told us about how she got our topic, she had some things in mind, but then she had to go with her supervisor's idea, research topic. It could have turned out worse, but thankfully she was able to make use of the research and get something from it. So it's often good that the research that you are doing is what you're actually interested in, because it makes you more organic. Then even when there are stuffs, the difficulties that come up during the research, because you have interest in it, it will keep you on for the long haul, right? It should be something that is also interesting to people in that field, right? I don't want to have to list out um um examples of topics. If, for instance, you're interested in FGM, right, and you're interested in why people are not reporting FGM, because that's like a usual thing with gender-based violence, that in spite of the avenues that have been created to ensure that survivors are able to get care, they are able to find justice somehow. Why is it that this justice is not coming and these people still suffer in silence and things like that? You need to start thinking, there are so many things that could actually be of interest. But if you go way out of it and you start talking about something way out, right? Technology, and all that, without really dealing with what people are interested in. So they are talking about reporting, the reporting mechanism. There's how effective is the reporting mechanism? Is it just that the survivors just have to walk to a police station, right? So that can be the solution. So it's by probing that what are the things that are wrong with the current republic, and that are wrong with the current reporting mechanism. Is by asking yourself that what is wrong with them. Those are ways that you can get to the bottom of why this violence still happens to women and girls eventually. I believe also that doing something that, so I put here that that finding a research a topic of interest is usually very good, especially when you're applying to schools abroad and things like that. It gives your application some power, some weight, that even while you are preparing your application, you have something that, whether you have a supervisor or not, you have something that you are interested in, and you can already tell the outcomes of that research, right? You tailor your research or your research topic, right, to your discipline. If you are interested in the environment, you should be thinking around current things that happen in the environment, the current questions that are yet to be answered around it. Generally just staying up your mind to tackle the problems associated with that field, with that discipline. And I give suggestions here that look for topics, just bring up topics. Thankfully, there's ChatGPT. If you are looking for topics, of course ChatGPT could bring up stuffs, bring up ideas. It's your job as a researcher, as a thinking human, as a thinking adult, to think through what ChatGPT has brought, and you can refine it. Don't just take it verbatim and present it as your idea. Some of the things that you are likely to run into if you do that is that you come up with a very ambiguous kind of project that does not have head and tail. If you've seen such kind of situation whereby someone is just talking or one is just carrying out a research and you cannot really tell that this is the goal of the research, right? So you want to do that, get these topics, but be clear on the problem they are trying to solve. You can't solve all the problems of the world, so all of those things would help. And I also put here that think about alternatives, for discussion with your supervisor. So if your supervisor is like my own, one design is not enough. If you're a design person, if your supervisor is like my own, one program idea is not enough. You have to be able to preempt people and to preempt that, while you are passionate about this idea, another person or the people in this field might not be passionate about it. So you can have like 3 or more ideas to help you out. Other things is that ensure that the topic is as specific as possible, not narrow, not broad, right? If your research is too broad, is ambiguous. So an example of research that is too broad. Hello. Are we still able to follow the class?
Yeah,
Yeah.
what did you
Okay.
say?
Yeah. Okay. So I wanted to know if we are still able to follow the class. So I was trying to give an example or to find an example of a research topic that is too narrow and a research topic that is broad. So give me a field. Anyone? What field are you? Ebon, can you give me any field?
Anything from
Yes,
my field?
yes,
Obesity.
yes. Just any topic. So not topic per se, but any thing that interests you in your field. Perhaps let me say your thesis.
Let's just say factors that affect healthy living.
Say that again, please.
Let me restructure it.
No,
Mm,
don't restructure
fact,
it. I'm trying
okay,
to get
factors
something
that
from there.
affect healthy living.
Okay, factors that affect healthy living.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much. So, and I know that you're into nutrition. So, factors that affect healthy living, broad or specific. So, can somebody else? Can someone attempt to answer that? So, we've been given a topic: factors that affect healthy living. Is it a broad topic or um a narrow topic?
I feel like it is narrow, it's specific. Factors
Okay,
that
so who is
affect
talking?
healthy living.
Sorry,
Remy,
who is? Okay, Remy. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So
I feel like
what does it?
it's narrow, that is, it is specific. It has
Okay.
been streamlined to the factors that affect healthy living.
Okay.
So straight to the point.
Yeah, okay. Okay. Thank you very much. Is Okwe still on the call? So who else is on the call? Let me see. Okay, Jonathan has left. Okay. Let me see. Okay, so for my, from here, I'm looking at it that a factor that affect healthy living. might be so while it's non-narrow, right? Is that there are likely to be a lot of materials, whether it's blogs, whether it's social media posts, and just say that, oh, factors that affect, that these are like 10 factors, like 20 factors, 20 things that you can do to live healthy, or, or to be healthy, and don't forget that you can get ideas from social media, from IG, from YouTube, and all of that, from academic journals, right? So when you think about it, factors that affect healthy living, there's a lot of materials on it, so it's not narrow, right? My problem is that it could actually be too broad or too ambiguous. And my reason for saying that is that just a second. So my reason for saying that is that it's too broad. It's not targeting. You're not saying specifically who you're talking to, because your definition of health might be different from my own definition of health. I might be somebody that, so the way men's health is different from the way women's health is. The way a PWD will define health, if you are considering WHO's definition of health, is different from the way a normal person, right, an able-bodied person would describe health. The way a developing economic person, that is, we in this part of the world would actually say, oh, that we are fine, that we're healthy, is different from the way another person in England or in the US will define health. So, some of the things that you need to factor to consider is that, is this topic, who is likely to benefit from this my research when the research comes out, right? Am I going to be talking to people, to people in a particular age, say perhaps factors that affect adolescents from this from this country, from this, something like that makes it more specific that, oh, okay, when I'm to design and research, these are the people that I'm going to consider. I'm not going to be considering everybody, right? So it's just an example, and it can be fleshed out, could be elaborated upon. So thank you very much, Remy and Ebon. So the next thing is that, apart from making your research specific as possible, not too broad, not too narrow, is that it has to have scientific, practical, social, personal relevance. And what that means is that it has to be directed at something. You cannot just have, so we've just talked about factors that affect that contribute or that affect healthy living. So while that is a very good interest, right? Does it tick the science, thing, like the whole thing about your research? Is it going to appeal to the ethics of science or the principles of science, right? Experimentation, hypothesis, are you going to be testing something? Are you going to be comparing this set of people to another set of people, right? That is like some science. Your research has to be practical, this thing, right? You cannot solve factors that affect everybody. It has to be specific. Social, does it have social relevance? Some of the research that we do in the university, unfortunately, don't have social relevance. So you are trying to solve something, a problem where there's no problem. Like, that is not even our problem in Nigeria. if you are trying to solve problems that have to do with nutrition, why are you talking about okay, what kind of food do they have abroad, or what opportunities for feeding there? So say for instance, GMO. I don't know if Nigeria is big on GMO yet. So for most part of Africa, we are not yet big on genetically modified, food, because I mean we don't even have that area of our research really, really booming, right? But abroad, they can talk about GMO because they constantly invest with funds into doing research on GMO, right? So if you bring that kind of research here, it might not be interesting to a lot of people if you're talking about GMO, because it's not even our culture. We don't even believe in it in the first place, right? So on and on like that. If you're as you are trying to think through your research, looking for a topic, you have to consider if you are able to achieve that topic around a particular time. If you'll be able to get data for that topic. I've had several types of topic. In fact, I'm in a fellowship program where some people have brought up a particular topic, but when we saw that, are we going to need to go to the field to collect data on this topic? We have to step down those topics. All right. And so you have to determine that, okay, for this topic, what kind of data we will need to answer the gap in that research interest. We've talked about if for instance you consider a post topic factors that affect health or healthy living, what kind of data can we get that can answer that question? Will we do a survey where we get numeric data and all of that? And I wanted to also add that as you're looking for a research topic and getting ideas and you want to do all of that, I hope you are somehow aware that aside looking for a research topic, you need to be acquainted with some research concept, like what is methodology, if you're even talking about methodology, what is it? You're talking about discussion, you're talking about data analysis, what does it even mean? Why do we even need to do that? If you're talking about aims and objectives, why do we need to do that? If you're talking about hypothesis, theory, why do we need to do that? If you're talking about literature review, why do we do that? Right? So those are things. So you need to be able to, your research topic might be dependent on would I be able to spend this kind of money to go and get this data for myself. If I don't have a lot of money, then maybe I should start considering secondary research or secondary data, right? So and secondary data is the one that there is data somewhere, whether it's from the national body, maybe Nigeria Bureau of Statistics, whether it's on WHO. So there's data somewhere. So yours is just looking through those data and finding a way to, and using it to answer the questions that you have set out to answer in your research. The only problem with secondary data is that sometimes you think that the data is available, but it's not. It's not available. But if you can confirm that the data is available, by all means, please, you will be saving yourself a lot of time and money doing secondary research. You don't need to reinvent the wheel, essentially. When it comes to ethics, I put a lady here that has a camera. And for NGOs, you'll be aware, Remilekun, sometimes you need to take pictures of your beneficiary, of the girls that you're talking with, or anything, but you need to first seek their consent, initially early media consent, because we need to show funders that we are actually doing the work as we said. So in that case,
Yeah, I'm aware. I'm aware of that.
Yes.
It's something
Yes.
that I've
So
worked on before.
yes, and if you've been at the receiving end of it, where you've done a fantastic work, but they've warned you that this, we did not give you the approval to put our picture on social media, irrespective of the work you've done, it can come around to bite you if you do not, if you do not have like a signed,
They have for
thing where
concept.
they've
Yeah.
said. So if you
I
don't
think they
have
call
like
it
something like that,
media consent or something like that.
yes, so media consent form or something. So
Yeah.
you have to do that, and also in research you have to bring in that element of things. So whether you are doing a research that you built into your program design. So if you are trying to design a program, you want to know what is the existing realities in that community that you are going to. You need to consider that is human beings that you are dealing with, right? If your research is going to kind of harm attention to them, endanger them, then that research is not worth doing, right? It is going to infringe on their moral, their cultural values, their religious values. It's not worth it, And of course, we always make them admit or disclose what we will be using the data that we are getting from. I think one of the problem, and I also heard that one of the problems that getting data from indigenous communities, from villages, one of the problems that researchers have with getting data from the villages is that over time, some people have done really bad things to these villagers. They come to their villages, get this data, and just walk away. And these people get to find out that, you are getting a prize from using our information, and you did not acknowledge them, you did not do any of these things. Even your research, like what's the business, or what's like the monetary value, or what is like the economic value of research to them? If getting this information, is it going to help their community, their children, their way of life, improve their standard of living in any way? So you just come to take from them, but um the you're leaving them kind of poorer. So those are issues. Um Aside all of this, or I haven't said all of the things that we've said. So this sample thing here that I put here is just a way of summarizing everything that we've said. As you look for your next research topic, you need to consider one feasibility. So it has been broken down as friends. I know a lot of us, or a number of us, would have watched that Family Com or that soap when it was out then, Friends. So, Friends is F, the F is is your research topic. As you look for a research topic, going to, carrying out that research, have you considered the feasibility? Is it going to be feasible? What would you need in terms of materials, time, funding, all of that? You need to consider that before you can arrive at a researchable topic. You need to consider if it's relevant, right? The relevancy. You need to consider if it's interesting in any way. You need to consider these ethical considerations that we've said. Is it going to be bringing any harm to the humans that are going to be interacting with? Is it specific enough? Hope it's not narrow or too broad that it just looks like you are trying to solve the whole problem of the world. You don't even have the resources, you don't have the connect, you don't have all of that. So it has to be specific enough, and it can answer it can reach only one goal. It can solve it can the outcomes of your research should be as specific as possible. Is it within a particular discipline, right? And have you considered if your supervisor would like it, right? If you even find a supervisor for that, because if you have a supervisor that is on ground that has been ahead before in that field, will they be able to give you the necessary guidance and support there? having said this, we have been encouraged to do more research in Africa, and that was why I put an African. So this guy he's trying to talk to some white guys. Of course, you can't see them, but one of the problems that we still have that we still have in Africa is that most of the things that we do are not evidence based, and so it's a problem. I mentioned some of the things that we can start doing to get ideas. You can, in that your field or in that area of interest, you can, keep tabs on the happenings, information in those forum by visiting academic journals, visiting schools. If you can get to their library, AC and a number of organizations work with American Spaces. American Spaces is an invention of the US mission in Nigeria, where they are able to, it's like some kind of library, right? But it is a different type of library because you can actually make some, it's a library where you can have a meeting, a workshop in. So they have audio visual materials that you can, listen to. They have some really, really good books there and Wi-Fi for you to use. So I'm making reference to American Spaces there. You can get from periodicals. I think if you stay in Lagos and in different parts of Nigeria, you can find under the bridge or in some places in the library, in a bookstore, you can find magazines. The Economist. There are different sources of this material. Bloomberg, all of them. You can follow international NGOs like the USAIDs of this world, WHO. Gets real information. African Development Bank, they have like a social media. And I also mentioned here that social media is also a very good source of ideas. Meta, YouTube, and all of that. So, having said this, I want to thank you very much for listening and for your patience and all of that. And you can connect with me on LinkedIn. You can also connect with me on IG. I think my IG is frankly Adedoyin, but this is my LinkedIn channel at my Shobo. So, thank you very much for listening. If we can have like 2 minutes for questions so that in 3 minutes we'll be able to finish this session. Thank you again for listening. Ebu. Hi, Ebu.
Thank you so much, Mayowa.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, good luck. Good luck, Omo. Bye.
Thank you.
Yeah, good luck. Can you speak with us? I think he's been having this network thing. I saw him earlier. So while we're still waiting for good luck, contribution questions. Okay. I'm not sure Remy can still talk. Remy, can you see hear us? Do you have questions? Anything you want to add?
Not at all.
Oh, okay. Okay. Thank you so much for giving me your ears and for really making it interactive. Really appreciate that. Good luck. Can you unmute your mic? Maybe the guy. Chukwemeka. Okay. Chukuka Ali.
Yes,
Can you talk?
good afternoon, sir.
Yeah, good afternoon. you joined when we are about to end this session.
Oh, I
How
joined
are you?
exactly at 12 o'clock, but nothing was happening, and I was at work. That's why I just turned on.
Okay.
I'm
Yeah, that's
sorry.
fine. I think no, it's fine. I think recordings will be shared with everyone that registered. So you are still likely to get the recordings to go over what we've discussed. Can yeah, you're welcome. Can Good Luck speak? Questions? All of that. Okay, in the absence of questions, thank you very much. I think our next session might be next week, Friday. Let's see how that goes. If I'm able to confirm the speaker for next week, Friday, maybe we might have something on design concepts, because I've seen many designs, especially for us that work in development space and that are content creators and all of that. Yeah, okay, go ahead. Good luck. If you can unmute your mic. You can unmute your mic. Okay, I think I'm trying to unmute. So I was saying that if you have the opportunity, please try to invite friends and your colleagues to join the next session. We are going to be exploring basic design concepts. Even if you are not a design person, so whether you are a data analyst or you're a business analyst or you're in business or you work in an NGO or anything like that, we often have to do something for communication and for publicity. And it saddens me when I see some kind of designs or some kind of things, and actually think that it can be better. So we're bringing in somebody that is a pro in design, so that you have some ideas. So whether you're using Canva or any design software or PS, or you're doing anything, you have some ideas, the combination of color, concepts, logos and things like that. When you are having programs and you need to come up with a logo, to come up with what your whole combination is going to look like, you need to think around that. Okay, I haven't said this. Let me hand this mic over to Ebon. Do you want to, Ebon, do you have anything you want to add, subtract? I don't know. Good Luck has raised his
No,
hand, but
no, I
uh,
said a lot. Said a lot
okay.
already. That's fine. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
All right. Thank you for being my host today. I want to wish everyone a pleasant weekend and have some time to relax, have some time to just enjoy yourselves as we prepare for next week. If you need the material for this session, please DM me. Only people that attended this session would have access to that material, to the material. In the absence of questions or anything, I think we'll safely end the meeting. Thank you very much. You can DM me if you have questions or any other thing. All right, bye guys. Bye everyone.
Thank you.
All right, Chukuka. Bye. Remy, Good Luck. Ebun. Bye. Bye everyone.
Bye.
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 Bye, everyone.
Bye. 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 Bye.